Kenny Ho, my man. How you doing?
Happy Friday, Randy. Hanging in there. We in the first week of April.
That's right, we are. Happy Friday to you, man. Happy April, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Good vibes. We're doing this live right at the SmackDown.
right,
This
right,
side.
right.
There you go. Um, Live on X, live on YouTube. I got my dog in the background, so if you hear some toy noises, that's little Phoenix over there. Any questions, comments, feedback from SmackDown tonight, or Raw on Monday, or WrestleMania, all that good stuff. Hit us up in the chat. We're live on X and YouTube, youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, like the podcast on YouTube. Find Kenny Holt on Twitter at Cowabunga_K_E_N. Myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J CRUZ. So make sure my dog be quiet over here.
We
Let
busy.
us have some fun. Yeah, SmackDown just wrapped up. About time we were watching live SmackDown. No more overseas. That threw me off. That threw you off for a couple of weeks. But live, a lot of shit happened on the show. I think most importantly, I would start off by saying, quick recovery for Kevin Owens. It seemed like there was a pretty serious injury, neck injury, that
Yeah,
he's going to be out of WrestleMania. I kept seeing those rumors yesterday and today. Like, was it, is it kayfabe? Is it story? Is it not? But it seems to be legit and serious. If that's the case, all quick recovery to him going forward. And we'll get to that more later on the show. My man Ice is in here. The reveal is nice, but I still wish this match had something else with it, like a title opportunity for the winner. Um,
Mm.
yeah. Listen. I think I was the one last week when me, Kenny, and Terrence was on and said the fact that 'cause last week they did the contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm wrong, tell me. I did say, hey, the next evolution of this story has to be, yo, my man. Jesus Christ, bro.
Hey,
Yeah, they threw me off. The next evolution of this storyline for the next 2.5 weeks is if I'm wrong, tell me. I did say they gotta reveal what the favorite is on
you did,
SmackDown in Chicago, and then
you
after
did.
that, I did say Paul did not have to answer tonight, but let the next couple of weeks figure out what Paul's decision is going to be. But now it is out there. Punk wants Paul to accompany him to the ring and be his manager, be in his corner at WrestleMania. Um, Roman looked disgusted. Seth was having a ball. He's laughing the whole time like this fucking guy.
Yeah.
I told you, bro. I told you don't trust CM Punk. I told you that. And now it is out there. I think this will be kind of figured what was going to be the deal. But how did you make of the delivery of what we saw tonight in that segment?
That segment was I thought it was orchestrated really well. Heyman's there, trying to be in Roman's good graces. You already saw Roman come out the car looking displeased already, but he's trying to Roman again being who he is, trying to have control, be in control. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone that came out, they all display their own character in some way. Roman, the high pedestal on the horse, wants to always be the top notch in control. Then here comes, I would say the revolutionary Seth came out,
Mm.
it's basically Seth's whole attitude when he came out. He's like, I know something you don't know, but guess what? I'm just willing to see this. I hate both of y'all, but guess what? I want to see y'all both crash and burn. Now it's my turn to watch this. Y'all watch
Yeah.
crash out now. It's time to watch you guys, crash and burn. So Seth was like good, like displaying that with his whole persona.
Seth told Roman, yo, like the reaction that, bro, I fucking told you, bro.
Like I
you don't listen. You're hard headed. You're stubborn. You want to be in your own ways. I told you this guy, CM Punk, is a fucking a thorn in your ass. I could, like you said,
And
you could have dealt
you
with it.
took him. Yeah,
I
you
could
took
have
him.
dealt with it, but you interfered. But now he's in the main event, and now he's forcing your hand because of this favor from back at War Games. Now he's taking your wise man to accompany me, and we'll get there. But I think it was well done. I think it was very entertaining, and just seeing yourself in the corner. You already know how I feel about this match, so I'm gonna repeat it. But I think what we're seeing now, what there's one more Raw or
Two more.
two more, right?
Yeah, 2 more weeks until
Two more
Mania.
Smackdowns and everything. Yeah,
2 more Raws, 2 more SmackDown.
yeah.
Mania.
Damn, it's about time, right? Because this has been like Mania season for a long time, bro.
Well, the beginning of March, man. Well, no, Royal Rumble, but
Yeah.
either way, but like I
Yeah,
think
hold up. Let me get my dog out of here. This guy's annoying me. Hold on.
hey, it's all good.
Live
Man.
TV, y'all. Yo, come here. Come on. Come on.
Hey, it's all good. Hey, y'all, that's just a dog. That's his.
All right,
That's
fellas.
his dog.
Yeah.
Phoenix is.
You
all
were saying I love him, but he's not right now. Not right now.
But as is Mania, but back to it. Seth was, waiting for it. He let it go. Then next thing you
Yeah.
know, they all waited for Punk. They all told their own way, back to like Seth. Seth really said, you're like Roman, you're naive basically from what we were before. And this is why I had to do what I had to do. But, you waited for all this and you had all this that happened to you. And then next thing you know, Punk came out. Punk really went well with his delivery, connecting like how him and Paul has had this relationship before
Yeah.
him and Roman, and he's telling it. We're hearing like name dropping, Big Show, RVD from past. Well, there's a lot of continuity for those who are, true fans. So, oh my god, and it was just so much good delivery, especially with Paul Heyman, everything regarding how he was selling it, how he was like delivering it. And then you see Roman cocky as he is, cocky SOB's like, that's it. You gonna
Like, yeah, that was it, bro.
That's it. I'm thinking it's something major.
Yeah, I thought he was say that's it. You want him? Go ahead, take him. That's
I
what I
thought
was
he was
waiting
gonna
for.
do that too. I thought Roman was gonna be like, I could win without you, but remember what we've been saying. I even said this too. Roman's now in the point of his now he trusts no one because he's hard to have relationships, building relationships. The only one he has is Paul Heyman. And now, since Punk has that or is taking that from him, Roman now is going to feel vulnerable. He's going to feel very much by himself. He's going to feel very much, he feels weak. Depending on how strong he displays, he needs his wise men. And I don't know, Randy, it was real funny because he was like repeating the same thing, like, yo, tell him. I'm not going to tell you again. Tell him. And Paul,
like, yo, well, man, you crying?
Yeah.
Yo, tell him no, bro. You know the vibes, and Paul always just like a master of like you're telling a story without saying words. Your emotions, you're crying, you cry right on cue. Like it's just amazing how he's able to do that. And then when you see him, you feel sorry. There's a sentimental feeling. Damn, man, I know what he's going through. He got to pick his best friend and Roman, but how's he gonna do it? But Roman's saying like, "Yo, you need me.
I made you." He's like,
I made you."
But I think for that, Punk might try to get some wheels rolling in Paul Heyman's head. Like, yo, you don't know who you are? You're Paul Heyman. You started ECW. You were the general manager of SmackDown. You managed Brock Lesnar, CM, Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman tonight, after where Roman Reigns was talking, he looked like he was scared to get his ass whooped after he showed his report card to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Roman looked like he was about to take off his belt and whoop his ass.
I think that's to the point I've been saying with Mania excitement level. I'm like in a 7.5, no more than 8, because I think the last couple of weeks, if you see, they've been really ramping up the storylines. We'll get the Jade Naomi. We got Jacob and LA Knight. The Tiffany and Charlotte stuff that happened earlier. the tag titles, and you're seeing like more that they're really trying to like push it now at the last minute of these storylines, and obviously Cena and Cody back on Monday. So and before it was KO and Orton before that match is off. But you sent me something in the group chat early in the week, and it's a who Tifo, someone on Twitter named Tifo. You showed me this link, and which I thought Punk was gonna reference this when he say, "Oh, you mentioned this on Raw back in the day." I'm like, "Oh shit, he's gonna mention that," but I'm not gonna show it because the YouTube stuff, but I can let it hear it. But basically saying that Paul telling Punk the day you main event WrestleMania, I'm gonna walk you down the aisle and accompany you. So that makes perfect sense.
Going to walk down that aisle with you one day. No time soon. I get it. You need your space, and I respect that as your best friend. But I'm going to walk down that aisle with you one day when you're challenging for the WWE Championship. I am going to walk down that aisle with you one day when you, sir, are where you rightfully belong in the main event at WrestleMania. That's my dream.
Everything.
And now we have it.
Everything comes back in fruition. I think that was from 2013, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because Punk had like the weird beard, mustache kind of thing, the short hair. He looked, it wasn't the championship reign CM Punk. It wasn't that guy.
Well, that was still prime Punk, so that's crazy how that all comes back in full circle.
But now it comes full circle. If that was to pop up on TV, like, oh, if Punk would say, "Oh, Paul, remember you said this back in 2013," and then you get the facial reactions from Roman and Seth, like, "Oh shit, like damn, Paul, you did say that. Wow." And now you got to keep your promise, keep your word. I think the way it was laid out was really cool, really dope. It got emotions, you got reactions. Roman trying to play it off like Heyman didn't. Not saying he didn't care about Heyman, but more like like he felt cocky. He felt too confident. Like he ain't gonna leave me, bro. Like you said, he's managed Brock Lesnar. He's managed CM Punk. He's managed Roman Reigns. Which leads me to my next point. This is why I've been saying for a couple of weeks that this could be all smoke and mirrors. Paul could walk down Punk all he wants at WrestleMania. Cool. Doesn't mean he's leaving with him. Because I feel there's something in the ether that Seth Rollins is somehow connected the puppeteer behind. All right, Paul ain't leaving with Punk. He ain't leaving with Roman because he just left him right now. You never managed me. Why not try something new for your career? You never went backwards to manage someone you used to manage. Right. Once you left Brock, if I'm wrong, tell me, did he manage Brock after he left Brock? Did he do that?
He did. Remember Suplex City?
Yeah, okay, fine. But you know what I mean. I think anyway.
I know what you mean.
Backwards. Yeah. In this time frame, I don't think Punk needs Paul Heyman. Punk is over to the moon.
Correct.
Seth, with the character, the development of the character, maybe a little tweener heel turn. I think Seth could benefit from a Paul Heyman behind, beside him, because Paul's been with Roman for 5 years.
Right.
Paul has not been with Punk since 2013, 2014, so over a decade. Why not try something new, bro? Like, hey, there's something out there I don't, in a good way, I don't trust about Seth and Paul. Are they in it from right at this point, or is it going to be revealed like Paul last minute decides to go with Seth? But I think Seth is winning. I've been saying that, and I think Paul is going to align himself with Seth Rollins.
Very unpredictable bunch, so I think that could sound like a pretty good twist. Now, do you think that this little triangle tirade is sort of like replacing as one of our main stories as a we're excluding it now from the Bloodline main story, but this is like something new.
In regards to,
Like this story is now building. Do you think this story has enough to last all the way into the summer?
yeah, I think this is going to. It can go multiple of ways. Even if Paul is not aligned with Seth, let's just say, for example, he's not with Seth.
Okay.
You now build towards Punk and Reigns because now Punk took the wise man from Roman. If if Seth was to win clean and everything, no interference, no help, you build him now to. You get Seth away from Punk and Roman now. You put him back into the World Heavyweight Championship title area. Something different for his path going to Backlash and SummerSlam and all that. Punk and Reigns can now be your one of your main events for SummerSlam. That does not need the title because what you're building, this story is there's no title involved. I don't. It's friendship. It's like you said, friendship, loyalty, respect, is honor, is all that. This
History.
this goes beyond championship. So now you build for Reigns and Punk for SummerSlam, right? Even if you say Paul is out of the equation and goes with Seth, you still got Punk and Reigns because now they both feel betrayed if they
Right.
went that way.
It could go the betrayal, friendship, past history. This
And
is
like you said, Roman being vulnerable and by himself for the first time in 5 years. There's no Solo, there's no Usos, there's no Sammy, there's nobody. If Paul is the last domino, now it's like Cody said, like maybe last year. He said, "Yo, you have no, you're
you said like 2 years ago. You're
the
gonna be
chief without a tribe. The
yeah,
bloodline ain't gonna be
Roman,
there."
a Roman with no reigns.
And then you're gonna be by yourself, and maybe it's that time for because I did see that Roman might take off from WrestleMania until SummerSlam, so he ain't gonna be in the backlashes and all that, which is okay, cool. So that's how you build towards Punk and Reigns, going forward for SummerSlam. If Paul is going to legit align with Punk, then now you have Punk and Paul on TV more than Roman. He's on his vacation. Now you see how this goes.
And then
Do you see an eventual heel turn for CM Punk? Does he remain the good guy? That's the part we gotta figure out.
and then we see possibly if Roman takes that time off, he's the comeback and the revenge.
Yeah.
The revenge factor, and everyone loves a good revenge factor, revenge plot, and that will go into the next thing. The next thing you know is fall again, and guess what's going to probably happen? Oh, another war games. You're probably going to have. You might get Roman versus Punk, Roman versus Seth. So the possibilities are endless. And Randy, we're just connecting more. The wrestling multiverse is showing us on this web of destiny. So I think anything's possible. I think this is going to be. We're just waiting to see now. This is giving me 7.5 on the excitement, especially with that segment. This is the
Okay. I mean for this match or overall Mania 7.5?
I would say overall for WrestleMania 7.5, but this match, I would say the excitement level for this triple threat match specifically has jumped up to about an 8. To an 8 because it is after tonight. I'm just like, yeah, and I'm just like, can't wait to see. Are they probably going to make an appearance on Monday? Are they going to talk about it, or what's going to happen next week on SmackDown? We got two more SmackDowns to talk about, so that's real. If they're going to all do it on SmackDown, that's just going to make it want more. But I feel feeling it's just going to make you want more. So it's
because I think Raw is in I think we mentioned it. Raw's in Minnesota.
Minnesota next week. Monday, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see where SmackDown's going to be until obviously they're going to be in Vegas on that Friday.
All the roads lead to Vegas.
Oh, next Friday is Seattle. Obviously West Coast.
Shout out to my people.
And then Friday SmackDown, they're in Vegas, April 18th.
West Coast.
Got to keep it West Coast. I think 7.5 right now. Could it go to an 8.5? Sure, but I think right now 7.5 for WrestleMania. Excitement, can't wait. You're building the storylines now. Like the one I forgot was Gunther and Jay when he attacked Jimmy. So now you're building that as well. Um, so yeah, so right now official they made tonight Jade and Naomi for
Mm,
WrestleMania. I think we all knew that was gonna happen, but now it's official tissue. Jade, Naomi 1-on-1, and I think it's the first women's 1-on-1. I want to get it right.
non-title match.
Yeah, it is the first ever non-title women's match at WrestleMania in 19 years.
Damn, 19 years has been that.
Non-title women's match. So the last 18 years it's a women's match, but it just
It's always,
titles involved,
it's always been a title. I mean,
and the fact that it features two black women like that. This is historic. So
I think it's fair to say that, like how we have some men's matches that are non-title.
mhm.
With the women's card, we should let alone have a lot of women's matches that should be
Yeah,
non-title. We always talked about this. You could still have good matches even if something isn't on the title as well. So Jade and Naomi, first shout out to my black people. They are
right.
just doing well with this whole dynamic of the story because for those who now stories aren't just told in the ring or when you turn on the TV. The stories are also built in and thrive off of now social media. And if those who have Twitter, you
Hmm.
see Jade and Naomi, they going back and forth like, yo, they about to fight now. They about to fight yesterday. Like they just saw each other. Twitter fingers
Hmm.
build up new beef. So they really are keeping it going and is making it very exciting. So
Yeah.
you can almost feel it. And then when they get to SmackDown, like, all right, so I think this will be good for. Well, let me ask you, Randy. Who do you think this will? Who do you think between Naomi and Naomi and
Jade.
who would I was gonna say Naomi and Jade.
Oh, it took you a minute, bro.
Excuse me, sorry, I was trying
Okay.
to not say first names. Who do
Okay.
you think that this WrestleMania will
You say
benefit?
Miss Cargo? Is that what you gonna say? Miss Cargo?
Well, I was gonna be polite.
Okay.
Who do you think that this Randy? Who do you think this WrestleMania will benefit more, Naomi or Jade?
Naomi.
Mm, Naomi.
I think Naomi. If I'm doing prediction now, I think Naomi wins at WrestleMania. Um,
Okay.
Jade. Jade can get her stuff later on. Um, there is backlash the following month. I think this don't look like a one off. I think this is multiple matches with both. The story does not end right away at Mania, and I think with Naomi, how long she's been there, being the true professional and doing whatever the company asks her to do. Um, this is her first singles match at Mania, if I'm not mistaken, or probably not many, but I'll find out later. But I think in her new role as a heel, I think she needs to come out with the winner as the winner, and I
Mm.
think she will. I think Jay can get hers down the road. Uh, Backlash, SummerSlam be like the final match. They won, but I think Naomi wins at WrestleMania.
It's just be crazy to see how much this how this all played out. Do you still think that because of last year, last time Jade and Naomi were in the ring, they were with Bianca, and they were in a 6-person tag team match, and they came out victorious. Do you still think that possibly there is still a little trio involvement down the line that's going to happen between Jade, Naomi, and Bianca, even though she has her own story right now?
Um, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Naomi's matches at WrestleMania to see how many, if she's had a singles like non-title, non-tag. She's 2-5 at WrestleMania, by the way.
Mm,
Okay, so She's had 3 singles matches at Mania.
Okay.
She's 1-2.
Wow.
Well, this is as of just trying to make sure I got this right. Man, WrestleMania. Well, that's every match she had. I don't want that. I want WrestleMania matches. Either way, I think she wins at Mania. I think I want to say too early for Jade, but I think the momentum the momentum is there for this heel Naomi character that
Mhm.
a lot of fans want to see where it goes, because if Jade goes and beats her at Mania, then it's like, all right, what the fuck did we do that for? You gotta let this ride out, because I think there's so much potential with Naomi as a heel. You know, like you saw her just where she got attacked and she called out Jade, and you just see different mannerisms with Naomi.
Yeah.
That I think is going to be beneficial for her in the next couple of months.
And for this, I mean, if Jade loses,
Which
this
is fine, because we just
it
saw
is.
Jay lose to live, so it wasn't like, oh god, Jay lost. Like, no, it's cool, you
Yeah.
know.
So it'd just be interesting to see, how Jade will continue. Like, do you still build a story? Do you still build like something or a new opponent? Now, I think
No,
that, well, not like a new story. I didn't mean that, but
yeah,
like, I think that this match probably won't be one clean. I think it won't be one like a clean way. I think it will just be a win, but I think still some involvement within this trio, something's gonna happen.
yeah,
I feel like with it, it's almost the same way as we're seeing between Seth, Roman, and Punk, where it's almost displayed hate, but I feel like other parties might get themselves involved, and that might go in with others as well.
I think the Naomi Jade match, I don't think anybody gets involved. Now, does Naomi win clean? You could probably say she might cheat, she might do this, she might do that, yeah, because she's the heel. But to get others involved, that's like not a Bianca. Like, why would Bianca be in that match anyway? She got a fucking championship match to worry about. Um, I think this is strictly 1-on-1, no shenanigans. But Naomi might cheat to win, and which is fine, because that's the character she's in now, which is what you want to build off of that. I think she needs the momentum, she needs that steam going forward, and she could probably tease Jade the next couple of months. I'll beat you at WrestleMania, you can't beat me. Da, da, da. Then you got a rematch at Backlash. Then it's 1-1. Jade gets that match. Then you figure out when the third match is gonna be,
Like a
because there
stipulation.
is gonna be at the Backlash. I saw you got Evolution, you got SummerSlam, you got Night of Champions. I saw so you can pull the trigger on a third final match at Evolution or even at SummerSlam. So, um, yeah, I think Naomi wins part 1, Jay gets part 2, and then they do a final one at Evolution or SummerSlam.
Mm. Be like a little stipulation match, probably like uh, a cage match or a
Could be.
table match, first blood,
Uh,
a first blood women's
oh
match.
God, First Blood. Damn, Kenny. Shit. She
Hey
want hell.
man,
Which one? Hell in a Cell?
maybe
What, an Inferno match?
hey,
Shit.
inferno
Jesus Christ.
matches. I mean, hey man, I feel like everyone could, if they could compete, we could see all categories. But one thing I was saying as well, I won't be surprised if you get other people involved. Naomi's best friend is Bailey, and Bailey's one of the people that's competing in that tag team match. So
Mhm.
what if Naomi wants to help her friend but ends up costing Bailey? Next thing you know, everything just starts going haywire.
Nah,
Oh,
Bailey should be far away from this match.
I know, but it's just one strand of my
Like,
multiple.
I love Bailey, but this match just does not need her to be
Over involvement? Huh?
involved. No, because Naomi's good. She's in full fledged heel mode. Like, I'm good. I got it. I could take care of Jay. Like, I'm not afraid of her. I'll beat her, and that's it.
Mm.
I'll be very surprised if Jay walks out the winner. And then, we love Jay, but I don't think she wins.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think excitement for that match, I'm giving it a high 6.
high 6. Damn.
Well, I'll give it a
That's
7.
like a 7 right now. 7.
I'll give it a 7. Yeah, I'll give it a
Yeah,
7. That's
it
fine.
got it's got 2 more weeks to keep building, but I like the Naomi entrance, and then boom, out comes Jade and attacks her. Like those unpredictability kind of moments, cool. But you know why? Because it's outside the ring. Everything does not have to be inside the ring. A promo, when this and that, you can attack the person as a coming into the entrance or coming into the arena, like I mentioned with Cena and Cody, mad times. Like you could do shit outside the ring. Everything does not have to be inside the fucking ring. So I'm glad they did the, and then also Jay came back after the match and attacked Naomi. So like it's the proper threading of what's going on. So I like that part.
I've been liking their promos they've been cutting. Like, Naomi's last promo, like video montage promo was really good.
Yeah,
That's
that
been
was.
really good. That was really selling. I was like, ooh, all right, Naomi. Like you really holding some on. I don't know, Jay's when she made her comeback, it's been good. She recently had one on, I guess, her excitement now that Nick Aldis made that match. So
Mm-hmm.
it was really short, very direct, but you could feel like, all right, yo, she wants this. All right, so now go get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm ready to beat that ass. That's her exact words. So
All right. So we got KO
yep.
injury out of WrestleMania. Supposed to get Randy Orton. That match is off. KO seems to have like a legit neck injury. So when it comes to the neck injuries, we look at Edge, we look at Big E, Stone Cold. Like you just never know um, what kind of injury it is, how long you're gonna be out, what's the rehab, and can you hold off on surgery? But I think this one needs to have surgery for KO. Um, just a bummer because I think we were very high on seeing that match with Randy Orton. What does Orton do now? We don't know. They're gonna figure that part out. So it's like, what's your options for Orton? I think he'll be on the show. It's just a matter of who does he get? Is it an open challenge? Does he get a returning Rusev or Aleister Black, or does he get Carmelo Hayes, or what does he do at WrestleMania, Mr. Randall Keith Orton?
Yeah. First off,
What would you do? What would you do with Orton?
oof.
Let me guess, first blood match.
Yeah, that's my thing now, Randy. First blood matches. You know what? If I was to spice it up and to let it roll, possibly see if I can tie Randy in with what's going on with possibly with Cena and Cody.
Okay,
Maybe throw a toss in with there.
you're cooking something. You got the sasson out. We're starting up. We're
Yeah,
stirring shit up.
because John posted a picture of Randy Orton on his IG. It was Randy
Yes.
Orton's birthday. They got a relation. But if you spruce something there, and if you have Cena or someone name drop him, we already saw Randy come out with Cody prior, and he said, talk about him and Cena, and he's basically said, when it's all said and done, I want that title. I want my 15 title reign. So that can cook up
Yes.
something, and that can lead up to I think it can lead up to Backlash, or back in Randy's hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. So that can tie in something, especially if it will be at Mania. If Randy is attacked, if we said this before, if you was to have, but it won't happen. Cena, if you had Cena or someone, hypothetically, Cena and Rock in a tag team match versus Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes on a Raw or SmackDown, that's gonna cook. That's like a little appetizer before a warm up before WrestleMania. So that will be phenomenal, and that can also build upon, what if that match ends up being a no disqualification? The Rock comes out. Randy Orton interferes his match. He tries to help Cody, but guess what? Cody gets caught in the crossfires.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, Cena wins the belt. Now we have some history.
At
Cena,
Mania, right?
we have some history. Yeah, a WrestleMania moment. The next thing you know, Orton challenges Cena. Cody's mad at Orton for helping him out.
Mhm.
Now we have something new spiraling. So I will put Randy in the Cody and Cena. See if I could throw him in there within that title, within that segment.
I really don't know. I don't know what you do with Randy. Um, I think the option of a open challenge is out there. Do you get a returning superstar like I mentioned, Rusev or Aleister Black? I don't know. If you get someone on the current roster, Carmelo Hayes, um, Sami Zayn is out there. Like we
If Bronson Bree was returning, but he's still.
read,
I mean, yeah,
it's a weird spot for Randy.
I know.
Um, just to stick him into the a match at Cena and Cody doesn't make sense. Uh, getting involved is one thing. Being in the actual match, no. Um, I don't know, bro.
It's just
I don't know.
it's just really sucks because we thought that
And I think
almost gonna be like that.
it would like you can't make him turn. You can't turn him heel now. Like it just that I think you can't expedite the heel turn. You
Yeah,
know, he has to remain a baby face for quite a while. Can't be like, all right, my heel opponent is out with a neck injury, so at Mania I'm gonna attack Cody Rhodes and turn fucking heel. Like, the fuck is that? Like that'll look like
too sudden.
plan W out of nowhere. Like but uh, it's tough.
It is because you don't want to waste I mean, you want to use Randy. Of course, you want to just utilize him for WrestleMania. I mean, come on, he's healthy, he's good. So it's just, I guess now this is a moment where you get an audible, you get a change. So what happens? What they do?
Mm-hmm.
Prayers up for Kevin Owens. Hope he, recovers. Just tough spot to see.
Facts.
But I think we just gotta wait now for these 2 weeks and just see what happens. Now is the time for these moments to be patient.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of patience, my dog has no fucking patience. Give me 1 second, all right? Hold on.
yeah,
It's gonna
hey,
be like an everyday thing now on the show.
hey, fans, let us know if you was the manager. What are you
So
doing
funny.
with Randy Orton?
I feel like my dog's gonna be like a prominent figure on the show now. Everybody gonna be, oh, where the dog at? Show the dog on the screen.
Hey,
Where's he at? Where's he at?
your
So
dog is Paul Heyman, and you're the tribal
that's
owner.
that's
You're
right.
the
That's
tribal
right.
owner.
Relax. Give me like 20 minutes. All
Yes.
right. Also, Kenny, official for WrestleMania, Jacob
What up?
Fatu and LA Knight for the United States Championship. 1-on-1. We thought it was gonna be a multi-man and fatal four-way, a ladder match, six-man, but it is a singles match. LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, he wins the last man standing match against Braun Strowman.
Good one.
Clean, like no interference, just straight
good.
up. So
That was good.
I assume Jacob is gonna. Well, I cannot assume. So, do you think at Mania Jacob walks out as champion, or this is now the prime spot for Solo to kind of like interfere, and then you make Jacob lose, and now you build to Jacob and Solo, but keep LA Knight as your U.S. champion?
Oof, that's a good question. That's a real good question. I would pick honestly, if depending on it, I would go with Jacob to win it. But LA just got the belt recently back, but
Exactly.
in a way to save Knight, but also try to utilize everything within the Bloodline 2.0. Solo and Tower. Solo,
Tama Tonga,
excuse me,
not
Tama,
Tower.
excuse me, Tower. You bring him out. You utilize them. Solo tries to interfere with Jacob. Jacob, again, I don't need your help. I can handle this myself. You tried it and you failed, but I'm trying to give it back to the bloodline. Next, we got new heat. We got new heat. So
Mhm.
I can see it. With LA Knight, I mean, everyone loves LA Knight, but if you was to do the grade, I mean, Fatu will be over on Knight, respectfully, but it will be that predicament. I think it will be a nice little turn. You would give Solo to interfere with Jacob and LA Knight. Possibly, they might end up together in a some type of match down the line, maybe the next month in Backlash or so.
Mm.
But that could be. I'm noticing now we're seeing a lot of triangle conflicts right now. We're seeing a lot of conflicts, and they always coming in threes.
Yeah,
Companies are
it just it's the
built.
intertwining of multiple people in an angle.
Yeah, these angles are intertwining, and one thing I'm liking is showing no favorite on one sided. It's not one sided. It's anyone can get these hands.
Mm.
Anyone can get these hands, and anyone can get the beef. So pause and any way shape possible.
Yeah. Um, I think LA Knight retains at
Oh,
Mania.
oh,
Um,
what happens next?
because Solo and Jacob had to get their feud on. Like a Jacob against Solo does not need the title.
Okay.
We're gonna battle for the U.S. title, bro. Nah, we're not doing that. No, I think the person who takes the title off LA Knight is not gonna be Jacob. Not gonna be Solo. Um, Carmelo Hayes could be a guy down the road.
HIM,
Um, you just saw Ray Phoenix debut on SmackDown earlier.
phenomenal.
So there's some options. I think Solo and Jacob can build this story family related without the US title. They go to Backlash, they figure that shit out, and then you build towards that for the summertime. 'Cause I thought it'll be Jacob against Solo at Mania. Well, I guess we all thought that, but they haven't gone down that path yet. And I think they're waiting because now Solo ain't doing shit at Mania. If you
Mm,
look at it, he's not no title matches. He's not. Solo is not involved whatsoever at Mania. So at some point in time, all right, if Jacob gets a spot, which against LA Knight, they're gonna show Solo is tight. He's jealous of Jacob now getting that title shot. Now this
yeah.
is where Bloodline 2.0 begins to crumble. You show that element, and you steer off Jacob and Solo into this feud for the next couple of months. And LA Knight goes into different contenders for the U.S. title.
Mm. If it's good how they're showing, especially like how we saw the bloodline, the original bloodline, they had beef within themselves and they dismantled and
Yeah.
eventually they came back. So you do the same angle now with this one, but this is the new angle. You got Jacob, you got Solo, and eventually both of the Tonga brothers are going to come back together. So now
Mhm.
you'll have some new way of doing it. So keep the continuity alive. So I'm here for it. I'm interested to see how that goes. That's how
Yeah.
it's just. But five, two, five, two. Yeah, yeah.
Um, there's a few other things I want to mention before I end off in a bit. That I saw during the week. Probably it's not important, but let me just see.
Let's see.
Um, okay, real quick. So Cody was on part of my take earlier.
Okay.
This podcast. He said The Rock has two matches that he has to do:
Mm,
The Rock against Roman and The Rock against Cody Rhodes.
interesting.
I think The Rock has to do both.
He has
Now
now. He has to do both.
he has. Bro, I think these could be the final two matches in Rock's career. Could
Mm,
be
it could be.
because you ain't gonna get Rock and Cena in this calendar year.
No, 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 no. I'm about to say yeah. No. Well, no. What?
Rock and Roman could be.
New Orleans?
Rock and Roman has to be WrestleMania.
In New Orleans.
Rock and Cody
Is that a Mania match, or do you put it
could
on
be
the regular?
SummerSlam.
Mm.
Now, does Rock take care of both in the same year? Maybe not. We're not gonna do fucking WrestleMania 43 with one guy, and then 44 with, or 42 next year with one guy, and 43 the following. Well, that's too much, bro. Like,
No, that's
if
mad.
you can get Cody at SummerSlam and get Roman at WrestleMania 42 next year in New Orleans, then that's it. Because there's no other matches The Rock needs to have.
Nah, yeah. I mean, if he has a match with Cena, it will be towards the very end. Not even a WrestleMania. Probably like I could see him and Cena going one more time. Final boss versus the protege. That could happen like somewhere down the line when Cena breaks part. But I could say 3 matches, but those 2 matches, yeah, Roman and Rock, you gotta have a Mania. And Cody, you could have Cody versus Rock at some time, because Cody has to fight The Rock about all this, because you've been whipped, you've been dissed about your moms, your pops.
Yep.
Blood smeared on your face. You've been hit against your bust. You gotta put hands on The Rock at some point.
And you ain't do shit about it yet.
All you've been doing is getting slapped, punched, whipped, your eardrum busted, a watch thrown at you. Like, he brought you in, he was like, "Don't do this to me again, or I won't do what I have to do." My man talked to him in the lowest voice. I got you a truck. He's like, "I got you a truck with my money." "Oh, your money's not The Rock's money. The Rock got you this." I'm like, bro, what kind of man making me? So it's gotta happen.
The way you could do it is The Rock causes Cody at Mania. You could build to that. Then John has the title.
John faces off.
It's gonna be Backlash in St. Louis.
He faces Randy.
You can face Randy, and then you just go from there. Like, it's simple.
Cody comes back after like a month and a half.
Yeah, give Cody a break. Yeah, like, it's just, I agree. The Rock needs Cody, and The Rock needs Roman Reigns when it's all said and done. And I think Roman Reigns might be the final match
of Rock's
in the career of The Rock.
Sad to see it go, but
yeah, that's crazy.
Man,
stop it.
But I can see that happening. But that was 2 matches. Put them on the card, Hunter. Put them on the card.
Real quick, per Wrestle Votes, the Night of Champions PLE will be held in Saudi Arabia on June 28th, and Evolution 2 a week later on July 5th. So we're talking about back-to-back PLEs, one overseas, one in the States. So
I don't know how they do it for those hours on traveling and then they go wrestle. Jesus.
Yeah. Last point, I think social was going crazy with this whole Charlotte Tiffany segment. We don't know if it's on script, off script, if that was a plan, but Chicago crowd got involved with Charlotte. It looked like she just didn't want to continue with the promo because they would have let her talk. And Tiffany said some things, and Charlotte said some things, and I was like, oh, and like, hey, like, I mean, listen, I like the realism. I like this backstage talk that you're putting out for the world to see. And Tiff mentioned about Charlotte's divorce, and Charlotte mentioned your guy Kaiser is in my DMs, and this and this and this, and I'm like, hey,
this is too personal.
Like, do you think it got to that point, or do you think this was kind of like 100% off script? Do you think there was some bullet points? Hey, you can mention this, mention that, but it came across like we're really just going at each other, and we say, "Fuck the script. We're going off script right now."
I feel like it was very much about of both, but I will lean more to off script because you can see, like, before Charlotte will always get booed, but she's always to control the crowd, and she's still
Yeah,
able
tonight
to.
she
Tonight, she was getting Dominic Mysterio treatment. Like
that was weird, right?
she couldn't say a word, but I'm like, yo, this is Charlotte. Like, I know she's the heel, we like her, but yo, she couldn't get a word out. And you saw her, like, you could see like maybe some like a little bit of discomfort, like, she was smiling, like, wow, all right, I can't say. And then next thing you know, she's like, all right, Tiff, you get the last word. I'm like, oh, you're giving it to Tiffany to close out. I feel like Tiffany took more jabs at Charlotte tonight,
Mm.
prior. And all these jabs were
I think she had to, because last week's segment with her and Charlotte was
going in.
got
But
into her. Yeah.
yeah, these jabs, I feel like these jabs are getting almost with tonight, these were almost like personal jabs, not more so talking about the ability and talk about the build up for the match. At some point, you saw Charlotte walking towards Tiffany, and then Wade Barrett had to step. Well, he stepped in between. They didn't even come to each other, but he was like, "Hey, remember?" He was like, "Hey, remember?" And they backed off.
Yeah.
And then, hey, man, you saw. I was like, in my mind, I was like, "Ain't no way they're gonna bring that up about. No way they're gonna bring about because if you had IG or so." Charlotte went on the Sherry Shepherd show. She shared her
Hmm.
personal life, what's going on. In my mind, I'm like, ain't no way she's gonna bring this up because I mean, I feel like that's real, like separate and personal. Because Charlotte was really upset about that. She was like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, you just like your father. You're gonna get married. You're 0-3." I'm like, "Oh, she did." And that's when Charlotte, you saw her walk up a little bit, and then Tiffany slid out the ring kind of fast. That she was like, "Oh, is that why Ludwig is in my DMs?" I'm just like, wow. I'm just
Hmm.
like, I'm like, look, I feel like people know about Ludwig and Tiffany, but
Yeah.
the fact that you like say that it was good, I'm like, okay, now I feel like it got too personal.
Hmm.
Like some things I'm like, it went off script. So it was more the crowd was favoring Tiffany and for Tiffany to control the crowd or so. But I feel like Tiffany is still learning and still trying to gather more. I know with Tiffy time, she gets the reaction, the big pop, but you know, it was more like Tiffany was taking a lot more jabs at Charlotte instead of
Yeah.
she was like poking, like trying to get a angry reaction or get the crowd to get a good pop, get that reaction, that pop reaction from the crowd.
I mean, I think Charlotte would be the professional to be like, yo, I think she probably told Tiffany, like, go there, like, go there. And I
Mm.
think just maybe it came across as if it was too personal or like, hey, like, what's this? That's supposed to happen? The crowd really fucked a lot of things up
Yeah,
during that segment. So we don't know what Charlotte was really supposed to say. We don't know if, again, when you prepare, there's no in the script. All right, so when the crowd starts booing you, you're gonna stop. Like, no, you just don't know. And for her to pivot in a way where, you know what, Tiffany, go ahead, you finish, man. They won't let me talk. So I think that's the first time we've seen her do that. Again, we don't know if she did that on purpose or that was part of the plan. Some are gonna say that was not part of the plan. Some gonna say, hey, that she kind of gave up on the promo, which we'd never seen before.
yeah. In mid promo,
Um,
I've never
in
seen
mid
Charlotte.
promo, and to let Tiffany, you got it, bro. And then she gonna say, yo, divorce, you're 0-3, and then the DM stuff. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
There was even a segment where Tiffany was calling Charlotte out, and next thing you know, she was saying, "Yeah, just like your whole thing is really a piece of." And I think they cut her off, and like it was like her voice went squeaky, like the audio changed
Yeah,
the sound, and that's when Charlotte was like, "I'm sorry, did you say something? Your voice got kind of."
yeah. 'Cause I think Tiffy messed up. I think she stumbled the words, and then she
Yeah,
started like, what you say, bro?
yeah, and I'm just
Like,
like, I'm like, is this really real? Is this happening?
yeah,
So it was kind of like, and just like, and damn. So that was just kind of it. But I mean, I feel as though the way this is going, like after tonight's segment, I'm still interested in this match, but
Okay, so after you see it tonight, before we wrap up, when you see that tonight, that you say debacle or the entertainment value, does it change? Like, do you have a prediction? Like, oh, I was seeing that. I have X leaving the winner at Mania. Do you think Charlotte wins, or it's got to
Oof,
be Tiffy?
man, the way it looks, you will probably. I know before I said Tiffany might win, but now with the sudden change, and so if you really want to piss the people off or to give a change,
Oh boy,
you would give
Charlotte.
it to Charlotte, and then Tiffany will try to win it again off of her at another time. But it would just be because, oh man, because like Charlotte couldn't even almost get out a word. Like it
Bro,
was just
I don't even know what she said. I can't even say. Oh, well, at least she said this. Like,
yeah. And and one thing about it, she was like, "Y'all want me to say woo because the one thing y'all won't let me talk, but you guys will say woo." And I don't think Charlotte wanted to do that. She wants to speak within like that because she has good skills. She has good way of direction and telling. So she didn't want to start off by saying woo. I think she did that. She did that last week. She's like, as much as you guys boo, you guys will always say this phrase, woo, and everyone said it. So I don't think she wanted to do that again. But man, I was Chicago, man. Ooh, Chicago didn't want to let
is
her.
it me or they both were like kind of dressed the same?
Yeah, they had the same
Like,
attire.
okay, all right,
They
I
had the
see
same
the
attire.
vision, but all right.
So what's the vision? Do you see what little sister, big sister, or the how can I say the student is dressing as a teacher, but the teacher is getting outshined by the student, and the student is Tiffany Stratton.
Before we wrap up, I'm not too sold on Tiffany winning.
Oh,
I think there could be a. I think they might say, all right, let Charlotte get let Charlotte get the title. Show Tiffy on the chase mode
again. Well, yeah,
and Charlotte drops the title back to Tiffany. But now because Tiffany got it off, she got it off Money in the Bank
off a
against
nine.
Nia.
Yeah.
So like, I just cash in and do my thing and I win. If 'Cause what's more important? Who benefits more? Charlotte beating Tiffany or Tiffany beating Charlotte when she's champion?
Mm,
I think Tiffany benefits more
yeah.
of beating Charlotte when Charlotte is champion. So let's say Charlotte does win at Mania. Again, another story you build throughout the summertime, and Tiffany gets the crowd behind her. Like, because right now, like Charlotte is the heel, right?
Yeah.
Tiffany's is the baby face, and I think building the chase mode for Tiffany against Charlotte um, will be more beneficial for her because right now it's really just it's weird to even kind of explain it, like what's going on, why the connection's not there.
It really feels
You're
different.
trying to find a story, but what is the story? Is I won the Rumble and I picked you. That's really what it comes down to. Or like you haven't really defined
What's
Tiffany as the next Charlotte, or she's trying to be like a Charlotte wannabe with the blonde hair and the this, and you're not really showing that. You
it
know,
has to
like
be displayed?
because if you're the copycat would be the heel, like Mickey was for for
True.
Trish.
Yeah.
Now the copycat would be the baby. Now it's kind of weird to kind of explain, but I think the story is I won the Rumble. I get to challenge for the title, and that's really it right now.
I think both of their characters are
Like
almost don't
similar.
they don't I feel like their characters don't coincide to what is it to help the story because Charlotte's character is the queen. The queen will never like bow down or beg for recognition. The queen automatically gets recognition. Where Tiffany's persona is, her time is now, Tiffy time, bubbly,
Hmm.
energetic, she's doing things on her time, her stance, and she's doing it within what's going to categorize around her clock, and that's what time it is. Her time is now, and she's not waiting on nobody. So
Mm-hmm.
their personas are not really. I would say their character angles they don't almost go with because you got a queen that won't bow down, and you got a up and rising star who wants now and doesn't want to wait. So how is it that we can get that to get them to build a story with that to tell because one has to back down, but Tiffany won't back down and Charlotte won't back down. So no one's going to have the both of them want to have the upper hand. That's the thing. And one thing
Yeah.
about storytelling, one opposition has an upper hand, but neither of them wants to have the lower hand. They want to have the high card. All aces. No one wants to have a deuce.
Yeah. Yeah. This shit might kick off WrestleMania. First match, Charlotte, Tiffany. Let's do it.
Hey, it's a lot of like
I don't
both
know.
both going in, but because it's just been interesting, Randy, that how it would have been told, like we heard Tiffany say, I idolize you, you know, I watched you, but if you was to look at Tiffany's wrestling style, it almost doesn't it doesn't almost like go to almost
Mhm.
Charlotte's wrestling style.
Yeah.
Charlotte's very technical, very old school, and she's crafty. Tiffany is very snap forward,
Hmm.
very agile. So she's doing the swantons, the springboards, not more so technical like Charlotte. So
Yeah.
it's very different, and they're
Um,
almost different.
my last point, as of yesterday, according to Wrestle Votes, night one of WrestleMania will consist of Jey Uso against Gunther. At the
Yeet.
time, it was KO and Orton.
Ah,
Charlotte, Tiffany, Seth Roman Punk. Night two at the moment is Bianca, Io, Rhea, AJ, Logan, Cody, John Cena.
mm,
So we got some holes to fill out, but that's as of um Thursday. So
well,
we'll see what happens with that.
we got those. The New Day is gonna face off with the War Raiders. That might be a tag team match, and the Gauntlet. Nick Aldis introduced the Gauntlet match between the women's championship to
Yeah,
get Liv and Raquel on WrestleMania because WrestleMania needs Liv Morgan, and we still
that's
don't.
right.
WrestleMania needs Liv Morgan, and we don't know about the Intercontinental title between
Now
Braun
we don't
and
know about a lot of shit, so
so we got 2 weeks, Randy.
we got 2 weeks. We
Find
don't
out
know
we got
about I
Dragon Balls,
Intercontinental Championship.
US, Chelsea Green,
But now you add Bianca, you add Jade Naomi, you
right?
add LA and Jacob. So you add that's two more matches are officially added. You're taking one out with KO and Orton.
So
So, you know,
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
you try to just make audibles and changes. I mean, hey,
I think Jade Naomi might go night one though.
I think so too because night
So
two,
Bianca's the night two.
Bianca and Io and Rio will be night two. You put Charlotte and Tiffany. I think you put them. No, you put them night one as well.
Yeah.
That's what you put, and then you put the women's tag team match on night two. I think you put that
Mhm.
on night two.
Yeah. Uh that's pretty much it, right?
Um, let's see. Another rest. Oh, they made this a good
Oh, because
introduction.
I was trying to close it. This important or
Well, it was just like a interesting question. They said about evolution because Triple H is going in the Hall of Fame.
okay.
Where would you rank Evolution as a faction from the WWE? Where would you rank them as?
Uh I'm gonna get to that. Hold on. Noob. Always a pleasure, my guy. A lot of people are pretty much upset that Kabuki Warriors aren't at Mania this year, but fans
Uh,
of Asuka, Kari Sane, and Io Sky are impatient. Haven't seen Oscar in a hot minute because
Yeah,
of injury.
and Kyrie.
Kyrie and EO. I mean, are people that much upset of not? Are you upset? There's no Kabuki Warriors at Mania, Kenny?
I mean, you noticed them not having, but I guess it's because it's just shows respect to them working in New Japan and
Yeah.
the skill set and their style of wrestling. I think that's probably why. And they've been away for so long, and they give a whole new way. I mean, they were the tag champions for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I could see why, but I'm not that upset or that impatient. I'm just like when you come to them, I'm like, damn, yeah, we need Oscar, we need Kyrie. They're still part of Damage Control. Damage Control now is just Io Sky and Dakota Kai.
Like I would see Becky before Kabuki Warriors return at Mania. If that was the case, I would see Becky
Yeah,
in that Charlotte Tiffany match.
that would cook.
To answer your question, where do I have Evolution? Like
Yeah,
for me, or am I talking about general?
What would you rank Evolution in your top factions?
Factions? What in? Okay, hold up. In the WWE or like all of wrestling?
Let's do all of wrestling because all wrestling matters.
You got NWO.
Okay.
You got DX.
Okay.
And it's where it gets tricky. Some could say the Shield. Some could say the New Day. Some could say the Four Horsemen. Some could say the Heart Foundation.
Think about the Evolution.
And Evolution. I think Evolution only lasted at its peak like a year. The thing that's the
like 2 years, a year.
No, because they got together in 03 and then 04 was where they started the they started to they took Randy out in 04. Remember at the SummerSlam?
Yeah. Against Benoit.
So the crumbling of the group was like he was there for like a year and that's no, they got the belts in. Everybody had the belts together in like December of 03. And then by SummerSlam, they're kicking Randy Orton out.
Right.
So 6 months.
True. But
I mean, top 10, yeah. Top 10, yeah. But cracking top 5, that's a very tough.
I mean, if we was to normalize stats, if we was to do stats like we're like stat people, like every analytics. Member of Evolution each held a heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Each of them hold a heavyweight title. Now, the only difference is Ric Flair wasn't the only one that hold a heavyweight title within the group around the certain time after leaving the group. But because Rick already had his heavyweight titles before he joined the faction. But he still held titles. He held the tag titles, Intercontinental title.
I mean, also you got the corporation. You had the Nation of Domination. Like it just depends on what you like. If I said for me, real quick, is NWO, it's DX, Heart Foundation. I hate these fucking questions, yo. Heart Foundation, DX, NWO. That's a definite 3. If I had to pick 2 more factions.
The corporate ministry?
No. Like I get why people would say the Horsemen. I think they were just before the Horsemen. Like I think they were before my time, like the original 4 Horsemen. Are they legendary? Yes. Are they in my top 5? Probably not. Like New Day, does New Day gotta be in it? Like they were. It's tough.
It is.
Shield was. They broke up in 14. They got together in 12. So talk about 2 years of the Shield.
The
Tough
bloodline.
call, bro. The bloodline.
The original
Yeah, the
bloodline.
bloodline. You probably got to put NWO DX. I'll probably put NWO DX, Heart Foundation, and Bloodline.
Legacy.
Nah,
Okay.
that was really Orton. Like Cody and with DiBiase had the tag titles, but like, it wasn't like Evolution where y'all all became champions and world champions. And probably New Day. Probably New Day. I'm trying because you look at the accolades of the New Day. Mad tag titles. There's a King of the Ring winner in there. There's 2 world champions, Intercontinental championships. Like, it's a lot in that group.
It definitely is. Flock of Ravens, no.
No, when I just add people. Oh, what about that group that the authority? Like, no, when
Filthy Animals.
No. Not doing the Alliance. Nah.
I know because the Alliance, I mean, they're big. It was brand versus brand, even though the Alliance was phenomenal, but it was only like 5 or 7 people or 8, 10 people.
Yeah, so I think we're good here. Got some good stuff. So it's past midnight here in New York. Probably get together after Raw on Monday, since they're back in America. We could do this shit after like 10:30 p.m.
Yeah. Hey,
if you're around, let me know. But you can find Kenny Holt on Twitter at Cowabunga_K_E_N. Myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J CRUZ. Find the podcast on youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead down. Before I get out of here, also go to. Will you show up?
I was about to help you out. Guess what came in, Randy?
What's that? This shirt?
Boom!
Oh, it came in today?
Yes, sir. It came in today. Had to show it off to people. Get your t-shirt, people. 2 out of 3 falls.
That's right. ProWrestlingTees.com/Cruise Control. ProWrestlingTees.com/Cruise Control for the official 2 out of 3 falls podcast t-shirt. For myself, Randy Cruz, and Kenny Holt. See you guys next week.
Yes, sir. Be cool. Be good, people. We live, baby. 2 out of 3 falls. And for all the people that wants to go, be good, be safe. Just always remember, wrestling's life. We love wrestling, and always be good, as my man Randy would say.
Bet.